Hello and welcome in again to another edition of our favorite video podcast, Musings from the Mountains, presented by WVSports.com. I'm your host and managing editor for the site, Keenan Cummings.
And I'm staff writer, Patrick Kotnik.
Well, guys, just when you thought the dead period was extended, you're going to pack recruiting away, we're not going to have to worry about recruiting, nothing's going on, not so fast, said Lee Corso. Three commitments for West Virginia, two of the 2020 variety, one of the 2021. Yeah, West Virginia still had some scholarships held over for 2020. They filled at least one of those in regards to Scottie Young, a transfer from Arizona. And an interesting transfer in the sense that this is a guy that started 30 games. Yeah, he has 3 years worth of starting experience at Arizona, over 150 tackles, 5 interceptions. This is a guy that's played a lot of football, over 2,000 snaps on the defensive side, according to Pro Football Focus. So this isn't your typical transfer. It's not one of those guys you kind of plug in, hope it works. This is a guy that started and did some good things at Arizona, Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has some valuable experience that can help carry over to this West Virginia secondary. It's going to be interesting to see where exactly they slot him in the defensive backfield. He was very strong against the run during his time at Arizona. Our Arizona rival site said coverage was kind of his weakness, though. But, if you look at his stats, he did show, though. I mean, he had, I believe it was 5 interceptions. He has shown he can do it. But obviously, if his strength is in the run game, then maybe they can put him at spear. Maybe they put him at the cat safety. There's different options. He's played all 3 safety positions, though, at Arizona. So he's versatile. He can, he's good against a run. He's shown that he's shown to produce against the pass as well. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly they do with him.
Yeah, he's bounced around quite a bit. He's very versatile, about 6'1", 200-some pounds. So he's kind of what you want. You pair him back there with Sean Mahoney. You got a pretty experienced back in there pretty much overnight. West Virginia has some talent at safety, but a lot of it's still young. This is another experienced option. Neil Brown had told us, we had our one-on-one with Neil Brown. They wanted to get the guy in the secondary. This would fill that need. Pass rusher edition, West Virginia added another guy that could be considered a 2020 commitment, and that is Bryce Brand from Maryland. A little bit different story. He's more in the mold of some of the transfers West Virginia's had over the last few years. You think of guys like Kenny Bigelow, Jabril Robinson, things like that, where he's played. He has experience. He has 3 years worth of experience, but really only 2 count against his eligibility because he only played 4 games in 2018, so he used a red shirt. But he has 3 years of experience there, limited snaps. He only played around, I think, 500-some snaps during his time at Maryland. But you look at his tape, and when he looks locked in, he looks focused. Talking to our guys over at the Maryland site, it's a pretty solid addition. A guy that's going to be able to help you rotationally and really bring some more experience. That's that buzzword with these transfers at a spot where outside of Vandarius Cowan, and if you count 2 games of experience as experienced, Vandarius Cowan, but outside of him, West Virginia doesn't have a lot. So another quality addition, a guy that's going to help this program, and just like Young, is going to be able to probably help him immediately as a graduate transfer. And the big thing with him, as I mentioned earlier, not just 1 year, but 2.
Yeah, definitely. 2 more. He has 2 years, like you said, Keenan. We've said before that band position has really become a focus for West Virginia in future recruiting class as well. Now in the transfer market, so another helpful addition there.
Yeah, I think I like what they've done there. West Virginia still has to find an offensive lineman. I think everybody knows that. You're probably screaming at your monitor right now. Where's the beef? Go back to the old hamburger commercial, but West Virginia's got to get an offensive lineman, at least somewhere, maybe a tackle that'll help some of those young guys, and then possibly even an interior defensive lineman. I know you're sitting there wondering, how does it work? How does it work? How does it work? Well, guys, scholarships can be manipulated, and you can get creative in finding ways to get guys in. So we'll see how it's all done when it all said and fold. But, remember last year there was 5 or 6 guys added. I think there was 3 spots open. It worked out. So we'll see how it works out with this class. It's going to be one of the things to follow throughout the rest of the offseason, especially with how wild, how unpredictable this transfer market is. I'm very rarely surprised in recruiting. I'll be completely honest with you. Both of these come out of nowhere for me. It doesn't really happen very often. That definitely didn't happen today when it come to a commitment. I had a good idea this one was going to happen. West Virginia added their 8th 2021 commitment in Ohio tight end Treylan Davis. He's a guy that we reported on back early in April, I believe. and still was committed to Cincinnati, but West Virginia really liked a lot, and really kind of behind the scenes he did too. Things progressed. Tip of the cap to Trickett. I think Trickett did an excellent job. Travis really developed a great relationship with him, and that kind of led him to eventually backing off that Cincinnati commitment and committing to West Virginia. You watch his film, and the thing that stands out to me is, yes, he's an athletic pass catcher. Yes, you can use him up the seams, but man, the kid is a dominant blocker. And he is just pancaking people, moving people, and is willing in that area, which really, when you think of tight ends nowadays, you think of pass catchers. You don't necessarily think of that element, but really that's kind of what they're for, and he excels there, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, he's listed at 6'5", 225. He looks every bit of that on his tape. Like you said, he's the complete package at tight end. I mean, he's pretty fast for his size as well. Not exactly a burner, but I mean, he can get separation from some of those linebackers. Like I said, he's the complete package, and he's shown to be a dominant force in the run game as well. So we talk about relationships. This West Virginia coaching staff can't say enough good things about what they've been doing in recruiting so far, and this is just evident again of that. You can tell as soon as West Virginia got involved, there was a special connection that evolved there. And in the state of Ohio, West Virginia has 8 commitments right now in its 2021 class. 4 of them now, along with this one, are from the state of Ohio. So it really just goes to show just how hard and how much of a priority this West Virginia coaching staff is making when it comes to recruiting the state of Ohio.
Yeah, and another guy with multiple Power 5 offers. He was kind of low-key when it comes to his recruitment, but some of the schools he had, Tennessee, Michigan State, Arkansas, a bunch of others. I think Wisconsin offered as well, and a lot of schools showing interest. So West Virginia, big-time pickup. Now up to, I believe, 31st in the Rivals rankings. That's going to change a lot between now and signing day. But the good news is they have 8 commitments. 8 commitments, still ahead of pace. No class in the Rivals era has 8 commitments as of May 19th, May 20th. Really none in the month of May. So they're well ahead of pace for where they could be. Could that be Corona related? Perhaps that plays a role a little bit expedited, but I think West Virginia did a good job when it comes to getting these guys on campus and building relationships. But a lot of recruiting news, hopefully some football news soon. We're all waiting on when word is going to drop. When will football return to campus? May 31st is that date for the Big 12. We'll see what happens out of that. But other than that, man, stay in, stay tuned. We still are running our promo. Get all of our content for absolutely free until the end of May. It's hard to beat that. All you have to do is check our promo link with that here. Head over to the site. We got information there as well. But sign up, WVU, free. It's free coverage of your Mountaineers. But thank you for tuning in again. This has been another edition of Musings from the Mountains.